and welcome here to more TALKFCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, as yes, there is more Barça transfer news. There is so much happening right now and so much to keep all of you guys updated on, but look, that is the aim. Today we are going to be discussing whether Dani Alves will be continuing at Barça beyond the end of the season. We're also going to be discussing their Barca's interest in Ilkay Gundogan, the Manchester City midfielder, as we are going to be discussing that potential deal. And of course, we are going to have the very, very latest on Robert Lewandowski as Barca's pursuit of the prolific centre-forward very much continues. All the latest updates coming here today. So let's get to it. But if we do kick off today's video with a bit of right-back news, first of all, because I want to start here with Cesar Azpilicueta, because of course earlier on in the year, a few months ago now, it was widely reported that Azpilicueta was almost certain to join Barca this summer, that he would arrive on a free transfer there following the expiration of his current Chelsea contract. However, things have very much changed on that, because since Chelsea's ownership complications, Chelsea are currently unable to offer new contracts to players as it stands, but what they can do there is allow existing clauses that were previously agreed upon to be automatically activated, and that seems like what's going to happen with Cesar Azpilicueta, because he apparently has reached there a certain amount of games that basically is going to enable Chelsea to just activate a contract extension that will keep him at Chelsea beyond this summer. Which indeed means that right now, if Barca still wanted to pursue him this summer, if we still wanted to bring him in, we of course would need to pay a transfer fee to sign him this summer. And honestly, guys, that is not a road that I would go down. You know, if Azpilicueta was coming on a free, you know, there's experience there, he'd bring leadership, he'd bring organisation to our backline. But I think for somebody who now maybe we'd have to pay a fee for, I think that's a very different deal. And I wouldn't really feel comfortable there paying out money, precious money of course, to sign him this summer. And could this be another right-back target that Barca cannot get over the line? Which then brings us conveniently on to Dani Alves, because of course heading into this summer the decision has been ongoing for quite a while as to whether Dani Alves' deal would be extended, because right now he is currently set to leave the club in the summer unless the club and indeed Xavi choose to keep him on. And a big report right now coming out of Spain with Gol España says that Dani Alves will indeed continue at the club. It will only be a very short-term deal. It's reported there that Dani Alves will agree to stay at the club until the end of 2022. There's that contract taking him up until the end of December. And what that will do there is allow Barca to have some cover in that right-back area. If we continue to miss out on targets, if we can't really wrap up the deals that we want, Dani Alves is always there as security. And from Dani Alves' point of view, it will also keep him at Barca playing some minutes, I'm sure, ahead of the World Cup in Qatar, of course, this year coming in December, when Alves hopes to be part of Brazil's squad. But if we do indeed move on to that Barca interest in Ilkay Gundogan, because of course at Man City right now, Gundogan does indeed have a contract until 2023, and until recently it was believed by City that he would be continuing right up until that time. But the news broke on Monday that he wants to go, and he wants to go now. He will push to leave Man City in the coming transfer window this summer. And Man City, you have to say, they are more of a club who will let their players leave. You know, if somebody wants out, if they don't want to be there, if they want to move on and make that transfer, they are not a club that will stand in their way. And what is interesting about all this, and I've got to say, I was kind of expecting this. As soon as Gundogan was rumoured to be leaving, I was waiting. I was thinking, okay, how long is it going to be until Barca are mentioned? And well, that's what's happened today, because Fabrizio Romano has indeed confirmed that Barca are one of the clubs who would be interested in signing Gundogan if he does indeed leave Man City. And I just wondered, guys, What do you make of that rumour right now? Of course, very, very early stages. We have no idea what Man City would want for him in terms of a transfer fee. We've got no idea who we'd be competing with for his signature. But what do you think about him in a Barcelona shirt? I've got to say, if this was a rumour that came about a few years ago, what a signing that would have been, because I actually think that Gundogan is an incredibly underrated midfield player. He's done so well in that Pep Guardiola team, not only in terms of what he's been doing technically in that midfield area, but I think getting forward as well. He's chipped in with a lot of important goals for them over the past few seasons. But of course, now what you'd have to say is, he is 31 years old. And of course, players can play well into their 30s. You're not a finished player as soon as you reach 30. That is something that certainly doesn't exist in football anymore. But what I just mean there is that obviously, because of that age, the question then would be, is this a signing that Barca should be making right now? And of course, the question would be as well, it's another midfielder. We spoke earlier on, over on the main channel, about Frenkie de Jong, about the fact that now it looks possibly like he'll be staying at the club. So do we need to bring in another midfielder, especially with Franck Kessié on the way? So please let me know what you think there of those Gundogan links, because the man that we have to move on now, and the man that we must talk about, he's also over 30, and he is certainly showing that time is no problem at all for him. He is showing no signs of slowing down. Robert Lewandowski on the agenda today, and the latest development and what is happening right now between Bayern and Barca, and indeed the player himself. Of course, we've heard plenty of quotes from Bayern. There's sort of new ones every single day about people within the club saying Lewandowski has a contract until 2023. He will not be sold, and he will fulfill that deal. That's what they're saying in public. But in private right now, and inside the club, sort of behind the scenes, it is being widely reported in the German media that Bayern currently are looking for a replacement. They are very much on the lookout for a new centre-forward that they could bring in this summer to replace Lewandowski, and that's going to be the important thing, because I think if Bayern can get someone in, there's talks there about Darwin Núñez, there's also been talks about Sebastian Haller. If they could bring in a new striker, then they would be much more willing and much more at ease with parting company with Robert Lewandowski. And when it comes to Barca and their stance on a transfer fee, of course, plenty of rumours swirling around right now. We're all very much aware of that, but it continues to be reported that the ideal fee that Barca would like to pay this summer is 30 million euros. That appears to be the amount right now that we'd be very happy to put on the table to bring Lewandowski in, but there is a feeling that if we need to, we could go to 35 million, but there is definitely a reluctance to go any higher than that. 35 right now appears to be the sort of ceiling that Barca are willing to pay. And I do as well want to talk about wages, especially when it comes to Robert Lewandowski and what he's willing to do in order to make this move possible, because again, this has been very widely reported that in order to join Barca this summer, in order to make that dream move for him, he would reduce his salary. And I could certainly believe that, because of course, first of all, he's got 1 year left on his Bayern deal until 2023, whereas Barca are offering him a 3-year deal. So already there, he'd have that longer contract, so he would be prepared to earn less. And of course, you add to that his will to join, that desire for that new challenge, that big move in his career that he's been looking for. I can definitely believe that Lewandowski is willing to earn less to play at this club. And in these coming days, an official approach from Barca will be made to Bayern, and then we will see. And so indeed, guys, that is a further update right now on what is going on at Barca. Please do let me know your thoughts, like I say, down in the comments below on Gundogan. What do you make of that deal? What do you think about our right-back situation and Alves potentially continuing at the club for at least another few months? And of course, Lewandowski reportedly there reducing his salary to potentially make that move. But will it happen? Will he end up at Barca this summer? I will see, of course, guys. Plenty more news will be coming your way, and I'll be more than happy to provide it for you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting, as always. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barca.